Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I am actually doing a look for you today that I have on my face right here. So I am gonna kind of narrate through this with you guys and do it with you, but I thought I would film today, totally random, and I wanted to make sure that I captured it for you guys. It turned out really pretty. The eyes are awesome. I'm super excited about how they turned out, even the winged liner looks really cool today. So I'm super stoked about that. In my video, I look just a wee bit different. I have on like a Bayside Tigers hoodie because honestly, it's just not me to like get cute, to try to put on my makeup, to get makeup all over my clothes, and it's just not. So it's a little bit easier for me to come back and do these intros and for you guys to see my outfit after everything's all said and done. That just makes more sense and it's like real life. So pretty much all my videos I think are gonna be like the same sweatshirts or t-shirts or whatever, and they're probably gonna have like Friends characters on them or Bayside or something like that. So just wanted to let you know that's why I'm in a hoodie. It just makes more sense. I'm way too messy to try and look cute and do my makeup and all that crap. So anyway, if you are liking my channel and liking what you're seeing, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you can get notified when I upload new stuff just like this. And also, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That helps me out. And even more so, if you would share this video, that would be so awesome. It just helps get my name out a little bit more and maybe help teach some other people some things too that they can do with their face and hair. That's pretty much it. So let's roll right into this tutorial. While I'm waving at you guys, getting ready to do this awesome makeup look for you guys, I was really super happy with it. So here we go. The first thing I'm using today is going to be a concealer on my eyelids. I've actually been priming my eyes with my Urban Decay as normal and then going over it with a concealer as a base and setting it with a setting powder afterward. That seems to be working just very nicely to hold my eyeshadow just a wee bit better than what it normally does. So that's a new technique that I have been trying, and I just used a damp beauty blender to set it. This palette is awesome. You guys definitely want to get it. I love Morphe products. This is their Fall into Frost palette, and I believe it's 35F, and I'm going in with a crease brush, my MAC 217 crease brush with my first transition color. And again, it's always close to my skin tone or just a wee bit darker, not too dark, and I'm just going in with windshield wiper motions in order to get some depth on my eyes before we create with a lot of other color. Second color is that one, and then I think I changed my mind and go a little bit darker. Yes, I do. So we're going to use that color just again to create a little bit more depth, kind of acting as like a second transition color over top of that first one. I do this sometimes just to give myself just a little bit more of a darker transition when I want the colors to blend a little bit better, especially if I'm using a lot of stuff from the same color family, which I am for this look today. The third color is a little bit deeper, and I'm going in again, same crease brush, we haven't changed it at all, but just right over those other colors to just again deepen those eyes before I transition to some other colors to actually start making the eye look pop. I'm really getting in there with that brush, holy moly. And then I'm going in, I think, with one more. Nope, I'm kidding. So I'm actually going to start some of the technique that I'm using to create this look. And this is what I really loved about this look. So what I'm doing is actually taking a darker color and going on the outer third of my eye with that darker color as well as the inner third of my eye. And I'm using another crease brush. It's just a small tapered blending brush that I'm using. And I'm just going in, and it looks really fast obviously because I've sped this up for you guys. But I'm just blending that color as close as I can without getting into the center of my eyelid. And then what I'm doing is I took it over the center of my lid to connect it, but not get anything inside that blank space for my actual lid color. And then what I did is went back in with a shader brush, or a flat brush really, that it packs on color, and it looks like I'm using my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush for that one, and that's where I'm putting that gold tone. And I didn't think it had enough pigment, so I went back in with another color from that palette and actually went over that one more time just to give it a little bit more pop. And as you can see, I smiled at you guys because I really liked the color payoff that I was getting from that. So then what I decided to do was deepen up those inner and outer corners a little bit more. that same small tapered blending brush. That one is just like a little bit stiffer than the first one that I used, and I'm just using that same technique there, which is blending on the inner third and outer third and then connecting it at the top so that we don't have a harsh line. And of course, I'm going to stop here and apply my foundation and spill it everywhere. And so I like to do this and go back in and finish up my eyes after I get my foundation on. So I have been using, this is a Real Techniques sponge, and I do like this a lot. Make sure you dampen it, but I'm using a nice pressing motion, or pouncing it, as some people call it, on the skin, and I do like that. I've been using the Maybelline Fit Me, not concealer, but foundation, and it is the matte. I believe it's something poreless, matte and poreless, or something like that. It's actually one of my least favorite foundations, but for the last couple of weeks, I have been using it again just to test it out and see if it wears any differently. And I'm not sure if it's just with what I primed my face with, or whatever's going on with the weather down here in my skin. I just actually really enjoyed that, so I was using that, and it wore really well that day. Next, I'm going in for my contour, and I'm using my BH Cosmetics palette. And what I'm using is that dark shade, and of course my fabulous e.l.f. contour brush, which I absolutely cannot live without now that I have that. Oh, and then of course I did notice that I missed some spots. Every now and then that happens. I'll see that in the mirror and I'll just go back in and fix it. So remember, don't worry if you mess anything up. You can always go back in and fix your mistakes. Not a huge deal. So I'm just actually taking that brush and I'm going from the top of my ear down towards the corner of my mouth. And you guys, I seriously got the heaviest contour with this look, and it looks a little crazy at first, but I promise you it'll blend as we keep going. So I'm just gonna blend in on the tops of my forehead into my hairline, and then of course on those cheeks as well. And I think I even go in with a little bit more because it looks really crazy on camera, but it really didn't look that crazy on film. And I'm checking it out, of course. So I think I'm actually going to go in with a bronzer now, yes. So I've been wanting to get some like color on my face just because I haven't been out in the sun as much down here. It's just been a little bit different weather-wise the last couple of weeks. So I wanted to give myself a little bit of a bronzy glow and a tan. So what I did was took my Park Ave Princess, and I believe that's by Tarte or Too Faced, can't remember which, but it's that one, and my MAC brush that I always use for bronzer is my 168. And obviously I was super excited about that contour because that is what I was looking for. Once I got the contour done and then put the bronzer on, I was really happy with the payoff. So now we're just going to go in and conceal, and as usual, I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in light, or it might be fair, I can't remember, but it's like the lightest shade. I like to have a super, super high contrast with my concealer, and I have been adding a few more places that I've been concealing lately, as you can see, on the chin, underneath that contour, under my eyes, on my nose, and then on my forehead. These are areas I used to do years ago, and then I just kind of stopped doing them, and lately I have been doing them again. And I'm just pouncing that Real Techniques sponge right on that to push that in. I know, seriously, I was so excited about that contour. It looked awesome that day. I'm not gonna lie, it totally slims in your face, so if you want to slim in your face, really work on that contour, girl, because that's how you do it. So anyway, I'm just going to continue to pounce that, I was going to say beauty blender, but it is not a beauty blender, that sponge on my face to push in the concealer. I give myself a little bit of highlight. Always keep your highlight in like the center of your face. That's kind of what you're trying to show off. So other than of course on your jawline there, that's how you can create a little bit more of a deep contour and give yourself a more slimming look. But I do keep all of that in the center of my face, and it just looks really nice and blended when you have it all done. And of course I'm going in and blending again. And my hair's in the way. Oh my gosh. I was having a crazy hair day that day. So sometimes I just push my hair back when I do my makeup, and other times it's crazy and in my face and in my foundation, and that drives me nuts. So I try to keep it out of my face as much as I can. And now I'm going to go back in and use that tiny little beauty blender sponge that I have for underneath my eyes. That one is just so precise and it works really well underneath the eyes, and I do dig it. So that is something that I haven't tried any other sponges. I think I got that one in like a Sephora play box, and I've just kept it and used it, and it works really well. But I'm sure there's other sponges that work just as well if you don't want to invest in a beauty blender. I have a ton of different sponges by other brands, and they're pretty comparable. So you just kind of got to try them out and see what you think. And then what I did was decided to go ahead and press that product a little bit further into my skin. And so I took one of my favorite brushes by Sigma, and it's my Precision Flat Angled in P88 is the name of the brush. And I just wanted to like create that really stark line for that angle on my eyes, and that's what I use to do that if I don't feel like I can do it well enough with the Beauty Blender. And now I'm actually setting my concealer. You guys, you have to set your concealer, otherwise it will crease on you. One of the things that does not work for me, I don't even know what I was thinking about or forgetting. Oh, isn't that pretty? Yes, it is so pretty. I was letting my concealer, or my powder bake that day. Baking is something that basically you just put a whole lot of powder on your face, you let it sit, and supposedly it gives you like the most perfect, no line, wrinkle-free face, and it really doesn't for me underneath my eyes, so that is the last time that I have baked under my eyes. To be honest with you, I guess I have more fine lines under there, and it really brings them out, and it makes me look about, I don't know, 94, so I stopped doing that. So anyway, that's the last time I did it, just because later in the day I did not like how it looked when I smiled. I just felt like I had a filter over my face, like those zombie apps that are really popular, and you put the old person filter on, and that's what it looked like. So I stopped doing that. Anyway, if it works for you, keep doing it, but it does not work for me. On to brows. I'm actually doing a lot of different techniques with my brows, but that day I was using my NYX Espresso micro pencil is what that is, and I think that's all I use. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I didn't even use a pomade or anything. I just took my, I have that in, I think that's Maybelline is what that is, but it's basically just like almost like a brow gel, and has a little bit of color to it, and I didn't do much with them. I was just really flustered with my eyebrows that day, so I just did the NYX pencil and went on about my business. And so there, I'm actually just cleaning up the powder and removing it from my face. Now we're going to go in with some blush. That was very quick, but that was actually Luminoso by Milani. That is seriously one of my favorite blushes. It actually has like some sparkle to it. I wouldn't call it glitter, but it does give you a nice little highlight, so it's kind of like a two-in-one. I don't necessarily just wear that. I will go back in and highlight afterwards, but I do love the glow that it gives my cheeks. And now I'm just going to go in and take care of those under eyes and make sure that we create a little bit of color down there. So what I did was just re-added those same colors that we started with. So we make our transition color, and then I go and I build that same gradient that I built on my eyes, going in the same order. And so I just mix those in with my tiny little pencil brush from Sephora that I love. And you just want to blend it out really good so that you don't have any harsh lines. Also, don't go down too low. That's something that I used to do too way back in the day when I was like a teenager. And then I took my brush that I was using for the inner and outer corner, cleaned it off, and buffed out underneath my eyes just to give myself a little bit more contrast underneath there. So now for the winged eyeliner. I seriously, seriously love winged eyeliner. And I don't wear it all the time. I used to, but recently I have been wearing it a little bit more. So what you can do is, for most people, if you don't have hooded eyes, you can actually follow the bottom lash line. If you will follow that straight up for your eye, it will actually give you the perfect line on your eyes every time. If you have hooded eyes like me, though, sometimes it doesn't work, and there's like a skin fold that gets in the way, and you can actually go into that skin fold, and when you're looking directly at someone, that skin fold covers up that eyeliner, and it almost makes your eye look heavy. So what I have to do is I can still follow that lash line, but I have to go more of like at a straight line versus straight up as the natural curve of your lash line goes, and that's how I do my winged eyeliner, is just giving myself, instead of going straight up, I bring it more out a little bit, and that keeps me from running into any skin folds that I have on the outer corner of my eye due to my lovely hooded eyes, which are a challenge sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's what I've been blessed with, and I just work what I got. So, you know, I'm using the MAC 266 brush, or 266 rather, for my eyeliner, one of my favorites. It's nice and stiff, and it goes in precisely, and that's what I want. So now we're going to go back in and highlight, doing that inner corner thing. I don't remember the name of this highlight, you guys. I'm so sorry. I know I use it all the time. It's just something random that I got in a box of mine, probably Sephora Play, most likely, and I use it all the time. But you can pretty much find any good highlighter. In fact, 2 new ones that I have are from Milani that I love, and I've been using those a lot lately. One of them is Afterglow, and the other one is, let's see, Sun Glow. Both are beautiful, so I've been using those a lot lately. curling the eyelashes and using my Better Than Sex mascara. That's been my go-to lately. I do have some new mascaras to try out. I just haven't yet. So my mascara box is pretty full, and I'm trying to use up the ones that are open so they don't dry out. So no false lashes. You guys know me. I don't typically wear them too much, just every now and again. I kind of like the look of the natural lashes, and I like heavy mascara. So, okay, my favorite highlighter for my cheeks is Ibby by Beauty, or IBY by Beauty. You know me, I can never get it right. And I'm putting that on, of course, my Cupid's bow, my nose, and then my cheeks, which this goes really nicely with that blush that I was talking about earlier. Absolutely love that. It's kind of got a nice pinky glow. Looks good on my warm toned skin. If you have cool skin, this will look good on you too. It's kind of one of those universal colors that I think goes really well. And I think the actual name of it, if I can grab it, while I'm setting my face here with some pressed powder here. And of course that Real Techniques brush. Oh my gosh. I can't find it, you guys, and I'm digging for it right here as I do this right now. But just know, Ibby by Beauty. Just search it. You'll find it. It's pink. Okay, so I'm pressing that pressed powder into my skin again with a pouncing motion onto my cheeks just to set everything. One of my favorite lipsticks that I wear all the time. All the time, all the time. It's bright. It's kind of like a purpley yellow. I don't know, a purpley yellow. Oh my gosh, a purple pink is Too Faced Melted, and it's in the color Melted Fig. I do love this. I really like those colors that aren't as deep but actually have a lot of pigment to them, or they're a little brighter. And then, of course, I'm going to go in and set my face with what I thought was going to be Milani, but I decided to go ahead and do Kat Von D's Locket that day. So I'm going to take a bath in it. You know the drill by now. That is what we do to make sure that our face stays. And that is that look. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had such a good time doing this look. And then, of course, I'm going to like pull my messy hair and fluff it and make it look somewhat cute. And there you go. That is it, you guys. I will see you next time in my next tutorial. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe.